Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts.
Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we drive fast cars straight into a really expensive house. My name is Matt. With me, Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
You know, the fun part is I'm not sure which movie you're talking about. Anyways,
It's both.
you know,
I melded them together.
I was trying to think of like something that these two movies had in common, and that's not the thing I came up with, believe it or not. So,
I mean, a house was destroyed in both movies. So,
see, I was thinking more of the fact that there was an obvious gold digger wife in both movies.
oh yeah, I probably could have used that. Oh well.
Yeah, I'm doing great. We're gearing up for Snowmageddon 2, apparently.
Yeah, because we live in the age of sequels and reboots. So,
and the sequel never lives up to the first one, so I'm not expecting much. But
that's not what I've been hearing.
people are freaking out too much, so I'm not feeling it.
Well, the difference this time is because with the last couple big snows we had, it was a fairly calm snow. The wind is supposed to be much higher this time, and that's usually where the problems arise. So,
yeah, we'll have to see. And of course, it's on a Monday, so that's going to be great because no
Yeah.
work's going to cancel.
Well, mine did last time, so it's entirely possible that they will again if it's bad enough.
See, mine only canceled because half the workforce had called out, and they were like, "Fuck."
You know what the worst is though is like the encasement of ice on the entrance I generally use just cleared out this like I don't know, like 2 days ago. Like the last of it finally dropped right next to me, by the way, and it was a big fucking block of ice. And now we're probably going to end up with a whole bunch more.
Probably, and that's New England for you. I'm expecting pandemonium. I went to Costco yesterday with Alex, and I was like, God damn it, people are like even more psychotic than usual today. Then I was like, oh yeah, it's going to snow. That's right.
Yeah. I went to do the same thing at Walmart yesterday, which was just fucking lovely.
See, Walmart's its own planet. Costco's like its own universe sometimes, I swear.
So I don't remember. It might have happened after we last recorded, but I defeated Hades. Hades is done.
Nice.
Although I still can't seem to break away from it because the other day, I went to go play a game and I just defaulted and I just grabbed that and I was like, wait a minute, I have other games. What am I doing? I mean, I know that there is like other stuff, like you can get more of it the more times you beat it, but like,
well, it's a roguelike. It's technically never ending in a sense.
And I'm sure I will continue playing it to a degree, but not nearly as seriously as I was before.
That's fair.
And on Chrono Trigger, I've cleared the Black Omen once, and I attempted Lavos a few times, but I got my ass kicked. So I'm going through it in a different time, going through the Black Omen at a different time period to grind. So
nice.
My next run or my next attempt will go better. See, the problem is I only have one heavy hitter on my team.
Yep.
So, I mean, I got Marl as a healer, and then I don't even know what you classify Luca as. I mean, she's got some good spells, and her pre-end game best weapon is like kind of like a randomized damage. So it could do more damage than Chrono can do, or it could do like 40. It depends.
So, yeah, it's one of those kind of games.
Yeah, but I mean, that's going well enough at least. And still plugging away at CW. That's slow going at this point, though.
Yeah, well, the farther you get in, the slower it gets because a lot of those shows go to shit very fast towards the end.
Well, it's not even that at this point. It's just that there's so many that I'm bouncing between that just getting through a season's worth for each of them is taking a while because I'm literally like watching like an episode of Supergirl, an episode of Flash, an episode of Arrow. Like I'm going like that through each, you know. So it's taken a bit. But it's going well. I'm still enjoying it. So I did because it's technically set in a different world and there aren't any crossovers until Crisis. I just watched Black Lightning season 1 all the way through.
Yeah.
So it was I am enjoying that. It is going well. But and I caught up on a lot of the animes and stuff for this past week.
Yeah, I did that yesterday. I was watching my so I'm still only watching Vigilante, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Freerun right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they just introduced what's his name in JJK, the
green-haired guy.
Yeah, I like him. I thought he was fun. What I'm really looking forward to is when we start actually getting more time, because you only saw like a little bit of him towards the beginning, but the dude is like a failed comedian. He's great.
Yeah, I'm still iffy on Jujutsu Kaisen, but we'll see how that goes going forward. Because this episode was really just a bunch of people punching each other for the entire runtime. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's really where JJK shines. Let's be real.
It does, but weirdly, I found the episode with Maki the most interesting one so far.
Well, there's a whole lot of fighting in that one too.
Yeah, but there's actually a plot as well. This was just literally just meatheads punching each other.
True.
It was just kind of like whatever.
That being said, though, there are a lot of new characters that will be getting introduced over the course of this season, so look forward to that. There's a couple in particular. The comedian guy, I like him a lot. And there's another one that I like a lot that gets introduced a little bit later. So I think once they actually start taking part in the calling game is when he gets introduced.
Fair enough.
But Freerun is this is what I love about Freerun is like this. And I know we're getting into another arc soon, and I don't know how I feel about it because I feel like Freerun is at its best when it's just the adventure. You know, it's not like we don't have anything crazy to fight or anything like that. Like, no, it's just Fern and Stark are going to go on a date this episode for like 7 minutes, and then we're going to move on.
And they don't understand how dates work, and it's hilarious.
They're going to go and learn about this other hero that cleared a path for Himmel, and you know, just like the little shit like that. Like that's what I love about Freerun.
I just like I like the whole idea of the fact that it's literally it's a show about what if the show took place after the adventure already ended.
Yeah.
And you get that fun thing where it's like we're basically just Freerun's just redoing everything she already did, but now with a different perspective.
Yeah, he's like, I'll do this job so I can get a spell that turns red apples green. Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, her priorities are really strange sometimes.
Well, when you're a timeless, like immortal being, and your whole goal in life is to collect as many of it. She's basically like Orochimaru, but she didn't have to cheat to get immortality.
Yeah, and instead she's just kind of like over it at this point.
When you think about it, like at the bear, like obviously like Orochimaru had like the mad scientist thing going on. But like Freerun doesn't need to do that to like get her because they essentially have the same goal. Was like Orochimaru wants all the jutsus and she wants all the spells.
Yeah,
but like you know, Freerun is just born immortal, so she doesn't have to go through all the fucking crazy experimentation shit to, you know.
Yeah. No, I like the dynamic between those three though.
Yeah. Yeah, I also watched the new episode of Trigun, which I like the direction that's going. Trying to think what else. I feel like there was another show I was watching, but I don't remember. Oh, Vigilantes. Yeah, we got the wrap up of Aizawa's backstory. Oh, I know. Is there still a little bit more? I don't remember.
I don't know. It's kind of. I didn't watch the stinger at the end, so I'm not sure. But
I'm kind of surprised. Like I feel like we're spending more time with his backstory than I was expecting.
I think what happened here was the author who was doing Vigilantes, was like, let's flesh these characters out, but I don't know where to put them. So we're just going to shove it in the middle of this because the arc, there wasn't really anything going on previously, I guess.
But you'd think I get it, but like you're fleshing out a character that we already spent like 200 episodes with in the main series. So like,
but we didn't know his troubled backstory.
True. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
It's
not gonna lie, I'm super invested.
No, I'm enjoying it. It just seems weird because we had like a little bit of like the Crueler and Pop Step at the beginning, and then we got a little bit of tease of Knuckle Duster's return, and then it's like, all right, now we're gonna spend 3 hours or three episodes on fucking Aizawa's backstory, even though this is only like a 12 episode season. So we're gonna spend like a quarter of it on a character that we've already seen a shit ton of. I don't know. Just seems a little weird.
Yeah, well, that's probably how the manga did it, to be honest.
Probably.
I'm not complaining. It's been entertaining. So
fair. And we did get an interesting tidbit of news. I don't know if you saw it, but a lot of the shit that HBO Max dumped a while back, all the old WB shows and Cartoon Network shows and stuff, are going to be streaming for free on Tubi on March 1st. So like Static Shock, Teen Titans, all the classic Cartoon Networks, Courage, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Dexter's Lab, a bunch of like classic Warner Brothers stuff like Looney Tunes and like all that kind of shit. It's all going over to Tubi for free.
What the fuck is wrong with HBO Max? Like,
I don't know.
Let's take all this. We're gonna make you pay for our goddamn app, which you're gonna have to double pay for pretty soon because fucking Netflix. Unless the Paramount thing happens, I don't fucking know. But we're gonna take all this shit that you would probably buy the app for, and we're gonna give it away for free on another app.
Yeah, it is a little odd.
We're gonna keep the few specific things just to make it so you can't dump HBO Max.
We're gonna keep Teen Titans Go and get rid of the good one.
Yeah, but we're also gonna keep Batman the Animated Series because like we'd get rid of that.
Yeah, right. Well, depending on how it goes, I know at some point in the future I'll end up getting my own DVDs of all the animated shows because, of course, they're not that expensive anymore either. Like,
well, no, because now you can get the just straight up complete series sets. Like I had to buy them individually, like the seasons, and that sucked. In fact, even though those box sets are really nice, that sucked.
And the complete series sets are very affordable for the most part.
Oh yeah, you can literally
Walmart for $25.
You can get like literally, I think like all of Batman and all of Superman for the same price I paid for like all of Batman. So
yeah. It's just funny.
Technology fun like that.
Yeah, no kidding. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a complete series set for Static Shock. I was looking into it earlier this week.
There was at one point there was, and I don't know if it's still in print because I saw it at a store and I didn't fucking buy it, and now it's God knows. Let me see.
I wish I had
Static Shock complete series Blu-ray. I don't know if that's a legit source, so I'm gonna just assume probably not. It's hard to tell on eBay sometimes.
So that's kind of a bummer. So I'll have to figure something out for that. But all the other ones are very easy to find and affordable. So
except for the Zeta Project, but no one gives a shit about the Zeta Project.
I don't even know what that is, so that's irrelevant.
It spun out of Batman Beyond. It's apparently in the universe, but nobody talks about it.
Weird. But on the subject of comics, I finished V for Vendetta this week. And I hadn't because my only experience with this was the movie, and I hadn't watched it since it came out, pretty much.
Yeah, and Alan Moore doesn't like the movie, so that'll tell you all you need to know about it.
I mean, from what I remember of it, it seems like it hit a lot of the points from the comic.
Yeah, Alan Moore hates every adaptation of his work, though. So
That's fair.
the only adaptation
Um,
he liked was the Justice League episode from the animated series for the Man Who Has Everything, where Superman gets taken over by like the plant thing.
mhm,
That's like the one adaptation that he actually let his name be put on because he liked it.
fair.
But Alan Moore is also like a hermit that lives in a cave, so
um, but yeah, so I enjoy. It was very Orwellian.
yeah, you'll notice that when you eventually read Watchmen, you're going to notice Alan Moore has a very particular way about writing things.
Yeah. I did enjoy it a lot, though. It took me a little bit to start getting into it. I think it was the like older art style that kind of threw me off at first, but after the first like few issues of it, I started really getting invested in the story. Um, I definitely found it more entertaining than 1984, which may or may not be a hot take, but
You know, um, yeah, it's a very of its time book, but it's also almost
for sure.
timeless at the same time.
Yeah, I definitely get that kind of like it was definitely like set at a specific point in time, but I feel like it's pretty applicable to today in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah.
But all in all, I found it a very enjoyable read. Um,
I gotta sit down and reread it at some point. I've just been.
but you just got a copy of it, so
I do have finally have a nice new copy of it. Kind of bummed it. I don't have one of the old Vertigo copies, but it's a DC Black Label, so whatever.
um, so I know I think it was off episode, but we were talking a little bit last week about how there was a DC's Finest for Static.
Yep.
So I was looking into that, and I was also looking into the Milestone collections, and I'm kind of at a conundrum.
Okay.
Because so the DC's Finest collects, I think, the first 15 issues, and then there's like a couple other a couple issues from other series that just include Static in there. So I think there's like 17 or 18 issues total in it. And it just came out like what, 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So like it's still pretty new, and as of now, there's no like plan to do another one. At
It all
least none
depends on
that
the.
at least none that's announced.
Yeah, it all depends on the sales.
But the Milestone compendiums, they've released 4. There's a 5th coming out in I think July, and there are less issues per book. There are more expensive books, and there's less issues of Static per book, but there's also a bunch of other series in them as well. And if I were to get all 5 of the ones, including the one coming out this year, that would cover the entire 90s run and the start of the 2000s run. So it would ultimately cost more, and they'd be bigger and bulkier and harder to bring around, but it'd be more Static and also a bunch of other stuff. So I'm at a conundrum.
Yeah, I think it's more of. I think it's just more of like how much you want to spend and how soon you want them. Because the thing about the DC Finest are they are very convenient, but they're also very dependent on sales.
Yeah.
To get more, like there's a reason why most of the ones out right now are Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman has like 4 of the damn things, which I found interesting already. But
let me see. I'm just gonna do a quick Google search, and we'll see if they have like listings for the sales of each.
they're harder to find. I know, like the problem with Static is he's kind of an obscure character these days.
I know, and that's why I'm kind of worried.
Yeah, they've also been dropping some heavy hitters for like a lot of the other characters, like Batman. They just did like the original Batman comics, like the original Detective run and stuff. Superman's had like his early runs. Wonder Woman, they just released her like first comics, which has been very fun to go back to. I'm trying to think. I know a big one coming up pretty soon is they're going to release the Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Hard Traveling Heroes collection, which is something I'm very interested in reading because I was gonna buy the omnibus for that, but then I saw the Finest is coming out, so I might as well just wait on the Finest.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I think there's another Flash. I think the Trial of Barry Allen volume's coming out fairly soon as well.
Hmm.
So they're interesting. It's kind of a it's gonna be touch and go with those things going forward, I'd say.
Yeah. I think I think just to start out, I might just get the DC's Finest. Um, and then I can, because that was a little bit cheaper too. So I could just get that to start, and I'll have some at least to read, and then I can keep working on the compacts. And if by the time I clear through most of the compacts that are out, if there's no news, then I might just start getting the compendiums of Milestone.
Yeah, yeah, because I think like if you want to just read the start of like the '90s run, that would be a good place to do it.
Because I also want to contribute to their sales, so they will make another one.
Yeah, at least show that that's what you want. Because
Yeah,
unfortunately, that's how comic books work these days.
it's unfortunate.
Even though sometimes even if the sales are strong, they'll still decide, fuck it, no one wants this. Goddamn. I'm still mad about the Green Lantern Kyle Rayner collections because they only did 2 of them and then canceled the third one, claiming poor sales, which I still claim is bullshit.
Dude.
Because people wanted that damn thing. Like there was clearly sales, but whatever. We'll just continue to pretend Kyle doesn't exist.
Oh well.
Even though he's about to take over the main. He's about to take over the main book again.
So yeah, that's kind of like how I feel at the moment. I'm gonna take a brief hiatus from the DC compacts just so I can grab that static DC's Finest, because I don't know, man. I just love static. He doesn't get enough love. I need to fucking contribute.
Yeah.
Do my due diligence.
I've been reading. I think this week yesterday I was like really in the mood to just like. So I got the 5th volume of the current Green Lantern series, fairly recently, and I was like, I haven't read this in a while, so I might as well just start from the start of this current run and just read through it again. It was interesting reading through it because it's written by Jeremy Adams, who is a newer writer in DC. His first like really big break was he had a really underrated run on. Well, I wouldn't say underrated. It's a very rated, like praised run on Flash, where he basically brought Wally West back. So you can understand why I like that run a lot. And he got unceremoniously pulled from it so they could move it into a different direction that was less well received. But they moved him over to Green Lantern, and his Green Lantern run hasn't been as fun as his Flash run, but it's been very interesting. And he's writing Aquaman right now, which is actually getting me to read an Aquaman run. So
fair enough.
It's interesting how a writer can do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I did that, and then I started rereading the current Superman run because it's really good.
Yeah, I think when I finish what I'm reading for what we were talking about doing for next week's episode, I think I'm going to start the All-Star Superman.
That's going to be a trip, but you should like it.
So yeah, that's where I'm at for comics at the moment.
Yeah, I got a few things I want to read because I took a break from my Flash reread just to change it up a bit. But yeah, should be fun.
Yes, sir.
There's just too many goddamn comics coming out lately.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like as a newbie, I like the compacts as just a way to just be able to experience a lot of it for a reasonable price. And then obviously with the specific ones I got to go out of my way for, and I'm honestly debating if I want to just get the next part of the Static reboot as like because they have like collections of that outside of The compacts.
Yeah.
I was just gonna wait for the compacts, but now I don't know. I'm wondering.
Well, it's also a case of did that static compact sell well enough to get another one?
Well, I mean, it was. I don't know. It's debatable because like, why would one of the first ones they do be static in the first place? You know.
Just to see. It's
Yeah.
sometimes they'll just throw it out there just to see, and if it doesn't sell, then they just move on.
It'd be pretty cool though if they did a compact for the static Beyond crossover that they're doing right now.
That could be interesting. I'm not sure if they would, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Sure.
The problem with the compacts is I don't see them doing new stuff with them right away.
I mean, the static is pretty new. That static season 1 started in 2021, so it's only 5 years old.
Yeah, I mean that's old enough for a compact. I'm thinking more like present day stuff is the problem. Like I just don't see them releasing those compactly right away.
Gotcha.
Because they got to get their sales from the regular trades first.
I gotcha.
It's comics are a very complicated business model. I've noticed.
Oh well, we'll see how it goes.
But yeah, I think with that we could probably get into our topic.
Sounds good.
So we're doing another nostalgic film swap, as we've been calling them, and streaming services kind of suck. That's all I'm gonna say right off the bat.
Yeah, because we both. This is like our third choice for each of us because.
Yeah, because fucking streaming services suck, and I just can't always. We can't always do the watch parties just because its timing is inconvenient.
Yeah,
especially when it's a movie I don't have the DVD for at the time. I gotta order a bunch of DVDs now so we can do watch parties on them, just so we can talk about them because they're never gonna be on streaming, as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you never know, because especially with a lot of these like free ones, like Tubi and Pluto and all that, like Freevee, like you'd be surprised how much stuff is on there.
There's a lot of stuff on there, but some people just can't sit through those ads,
which is crazy to me, especially people in our generation, because we grew up with that shit. Like that was just
that
was just the way you watched TV back in the day.
But now we're spoiled by Netflix and everything, and like we've just been accustomed to not ever having to watch ads.
Well, so I got ads on all my streamers anyway, so.
I don't think I do.
But funny enough, Netflix is the one that's like the least offensive with them. Hulu is like ridiculous sometimes.
I must pay for the higher tier of Hulu then, because I've never had a Hulu ad. The only
HBO Max isn't bad either.
The only one I get ads on is Paramount, but I'm scrapping that at the end of the year. So
I've scrapped mine at the end of last year. So
yeah, there's like nothing there that's worth watching right now. So I'm kind of just like bye on that one.
Well, like the main things I really cared about on Paramount, I have the DVDs for, or I have them on my hard drive.
But, yeah, pretty much. Like the only thing I ever watch on Paramount is like Bar Rescue, but I can live without Bar Rescue.
Yeah, for us it was pretty much like Star Trek and like old sitcoms like I Love Lucy and shit, because Cindy likes I Love Lucy, but we already have that anyway. So
there's convenient box sets, thankfully, though, for most of that stuff.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, is they usually like they would fixate on like the older stuff, like that was like their big draw, but you can get that stuff pretty cheap, or in my case, find it at the library.
Yes. So. I have to say though, I had to make a Pluto TV account because I apparently never made one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to download the apps on all my shit. I was like, this is funny. Because no one talks about Pluto TV. People only talk about Tubi when they talk about the free ones.
Yeah.
There's an interesting selection over there, to say the least.
Yeah. There's actually a lot more like free streaming services than I think people realize, and they actually have a lot of stuff on them. Like, I don't remember which one it was. Cindy was looking at one of them. It wasn't one of the ones we normally talk about, but there was like a shit ton of like classic like 90s movies and stuff.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so which film should we start with?
Oh, can we pause real quick?
Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyways,
So where should we begin?
I say we were talking about Pluto TV. Let's start with Mouse Hunt.
All right. Fair enough. I'm
Because
gonna pull up my notes.
because I have things to say about this movie.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the cover of this movie. I just have to put this out there. Fun for the whole family, huh?
Yeah, there's a
Huh?
well, family movies
Family
were
movie, huh?
very different in the 80s and 90s.
Uh-huh. I was like, God damn, kids were hardcore back in the day, because holy shit.
Also, like back the movies that we grew up with were a lot less like worried about like, oh, how much can we like because there's a straight up like references like there's a reference to sex. It's very subtle, like you wouldn't noticed it if you weren't even if you were a kid, but like little shit like that is just throughout. Or like we'll start with the first scene of the movie, right?
Yeah,
Is
where good old dad goes down the sewer.
yeah, because they're literally like walking down the fucking steps of the church at their dad's funeral carrying the coffin, and they're having an argument about whether or not the younger brother's suit is black or blue or black or gray, whatever it was. And somehow they end up dropping the coffin. It
The
falls
handle
down
breaks off.
it falls down the steps, and the body gets launched and falls down a fucking sewer hole.
They're like, come on, we gotta go get him. They're like, he's in the ocean by now, buddy.
Yeah, that thing's gone, bro. Like, hey, we're not getting that back. It's like Jesus Christ, and that was how we started this family movie.
Yeah, and to start this movie at first I was like, did I pick the right movie? Because I was like this is dark. So this movie stars Nathan Lane and Lee Evans, and my God, do they carry this thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Nathan Lane in
It's
particular carries this fucking movie.
Yeah, because was it Eddie? I think is the older brother's name.
I believe so.
And it took me a
Ernie,
minute to realize Ernie, that's what it was. Yeah, the voice of Timon from fucking The Lion King. Because I noticed that right away. He has a very distinct voice.
Now Nathan Lane has a very you hear it and you go, I know that voice.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say that Lee Evans is very good in this role too.
Yeah,
as Lars, the younger brother, the younger timid brother.
Yep, which classic brother film setup.
Yeah. So I like the setting of this movie a lot because it's like a modern setting, but it's also it's a modern like look, but it takes place in like the 30s apparently.
Well, no, because no, there was definitely like bits throughout that made it like very clear that this took place in the 90s. For some reason, they were all dressed like they were in like they were bootleggers.
It's weird. It's like a modern setting, but it's like it's got like a 30s vibe to it for some reason.
I know it was just like a weird thing they were doing in the 90s for some reason. I don't know why.
It's an interesting look. Like it looks very particular. Like it stands out is the best way to put it.
For sure.
Because they're all driving like old timey cars and stuff too, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, they're wearing like the old timey suits with like fedoras and shit. And I guess the older brother, oh no, because they go through the whole like will scenario where they're like working out like what they get from their dad, and so they their dad like had founded a string factory, and that was like his passion was string. For
a world without string is chaos.
Yeah, yep, that's the first thing we see when this movie starts is that quote. So like he leaves them like the weirdest shit. Like he's like, "Oh, we got the factory, and we don't want you to sell it. We want you guys to run it together." Also, I'm gonna leave you guys a ceramic egg,
a box of cigars,
and half a box of cigars,
and my collection of spoons,
and a collection of spoons. Yes, and there's a special surprise in that box of cigars.
Yeah, that box of cigars. You should have opened that because,
or not brought it into the restaurant that he worked at.
Yeah, because
or owned, I think.
Yeah,
I think he
owned
it.
Because boy, God, does that set off a chain of events?
Yeah, because he leaves the will thing being like, well, I got to go and make food for the mayor because he's coming to our restaurant. And he's like, he's like a very like, typical, like being a gourmet chef is my dream kind of thing. So he's like going real hard into it. He's even doing like a fake French accent.
He's also very competent at his job, which is very interesting considering the rest of the movie.
Yeah. And as he's preparing the food for the mayor and his family, a cockroach crawls out of the cigar box and into the food.
Yeah, I had to look away at that one. I was like, oh, like I can't stand roaches.
When the fucking mayor takes that first bite, he's like, oh, crunchy.
Yeah, that fucking scene. That was like the first point where I'm like, fun for the full family, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially because that roach was like a weird CGI abomination, and I did not enjoy that at all.
Yeah, there's a few instances of weird CGI abominations throughout this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them look good. Others, we'll get to the cat later.
Yeah, the cat. Oh god! But long story short, the whole cockroach debacle ends with the mayor dying of a heart attack.
You know what the most fucked up part of that whole scene is? The fact that that whole thing happens, and his two daughters, they don't give a fuck in the
No, they're like playing in the background with like the "Do Not Cross" tape.
Yeah, I was like
being carted off to the morgue.
I was like, what the fuck? I mean, that whole scene, I was just like, ugh, I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like this.
That was something else for sure.
And I like how one incident just immediately ends that restaurant, like just done.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we're and they couldn't just call up Caesar and have him just check the place or anything. Like, no, it's just you're shut down. This place no longer exists.
Let's be fair. Would they want Caesar to check the place?
I mean, to be fair, he is good at his job. That mouse is an enigma.
He eats rat shit, like just straight up.
He was able to tell he has a calcium deficiency. I mean,
my favorite review of this movie is like going on and on about how all the things, and then the review literally ends with, "Oh yeah, Christopher Walken eats mouse shit, by the way." And I'm just like what? I'm like, okay, yeah, that's
also
true.
The weirdest, like, hey, here's a big actor, and he just shows up, and he's basically Dale Gribble.
I mean, to be fair, Christopher Walken, he was playing Christopher Walken, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he showed up, I'm like, oh, that's somebody.
Yeah. Probably the biggest name in this movie.
Biggest name at the time. Nathan Lane's pretty big today, I'd say. But
so yeah, like the younger brother who is currently running the string factory gets approached by these people who want to buy the string factory. And he turns him down, thinking about his dad or whatever. He does the whole quote and everything. And then his wife kicks him out because they're broke and she doesn't like it.
Yeah, she's very much a gold digger.
Yes.
She's easily
she even blatantly says, like, I liked string when it was making money and now it's not. So go away.
Yeah, she is like literally probably the most unlikable character in this movie.
She's definitely up there. There's a few unlikable characters in this movie, but
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So the younger brother, was it Lars? That was his name?
Lars, yeah.
I kept forgetting his name. Yeah, Lars goes to like a local diner to just, go get something to eat or whatever. And who's working in the kitchen but his older brother there.
That went by pretty fast, all things considered. Like damn, they wrapped up that closing and then just immediately he's working here within the span of less than a day, I think.
As far as we're aware. Also, it dawns on me that this could be considered a Christmas movie because it is Christmas during all this.
Yeah. That's such a minor plot point, though.
Yeah, they just kind of mention it. I think, actually, Ernie had written Merry Christmas in capers on the sandwich that Lars ordered at the diner, and that's like the only real indication.
Well, there's that, and then there's also the Christmas wreath on Lars's former house.
Yes. So they both like basically homeless, and they remember that their dad had left them an old house that they thought was worthless.
Yeah.
And they go and they're just, all right, we're just gonna go and sleep here and figure out our shit. And they find the blueprints and see how old it is, and they have somebody come and appraise it. They discover that it's actually a missing house from what was his name? It was like the missing LaRue.
Yeah, the missing LaRue.
Which is like a really famous house builder or whatever. And all of his houses that he has built are worth like a shit ton of money.
Yes.
So this fat cat comes in. He's like, "I'll buy it right now. I'll write you a check." And he's like, "Nope, we're gonna do an auction instead, so we can try to get even more money out of it."
The two brothers annoy me so much in this movie because there's so many opportunities that their life could just be so much better, and they just keep throwing them away.
Yeah, like every offer that they get, and it would have been like perfect.
Yeah,
they could have just taken a check for $10 million.
Not had to worry about that goddamn house.
Yeah, because at that point, the check would already be theirs. They could go and cash it, and then it's his problem.
Yeah, or hell, sell the damn factory. Like, sell the damn factory. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Also,
that $100,000 in the '90s would have made a big difference.
Well, they live in like 30s world, so they probably would have. But they would have been like the big cats these days. Yeah, there's so many moments where also the picture in that office is like sentient.
That's like the best character in the movie.
Yeah, like anyone questioning how this photo is alive? No, okay.
No, well, it's a '90s live action DreamWorks film, so
sure
anything can happen.
So we should talk about the other main character of this movie now.
The mouse.
The mouse.
Yes.
That little bastard.
He's basically fucking Jerry Mouse from Tom and Jerry.
Like, you know what the funniest part too is though? Half the time he doesn't even do anything. His presence alone causes them to fuck shit up.
He's just existing.
Like the scene where they're bringing that goddamn bathtub up the stairs.
Yeah, and he's just sitting on the banister like nothing. Yeah. And they drop the fucking bathtub, and it ends up at the bottom of the frozen lake outside.
Which I do love the payoff of that later, but like also the fact that it's like, he's like, they even let me keep the cardboard girl. I'm like,
yeah,
and that does what?
And it costed him $1,200, and then like 15 minutes later in the movie, somebody comes on the knocking on the door, being like, "We're foreclosing on your house because you owe us $1,200."
Yeah, their decision making annoys me so much in this movie at times.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, they could have probably just sold it as is and still walked away a lot better off than they were.
Well, because there would be points where they're like doing really good work. Like there's that scene with the nails where like they almost get the mouse.
And they just don't even know it.
Yeah, and then like it's all ends just because he gets distracted by that goddamn bathtub.
Yep.
Yeah, that scene with the mouse is pretty like insane though, because the mouse is weird. It's like a combination of practical. The effects on the mouse are interesting though too, because it's like a mix of like animatronic, CGI, and occasional practical. Because that mouse does change between a real mouse and a CGI mouse at times.
Yeah, because I guess they did have like trained animals throughout this movie. I think the cat and the mouse specifically.
Yes.
But so like, what were some of your favorite like early hijinks with the mouse?
Well, the bathtub was great. The fucking vacuum sewage bomb, like that was
because they're like sticking a vacuum into the mouse hole, and it ends up in like a sewage spout somehow.
An open sewage spout. Like I'm first off thinking,
it's like, just in the wall. Like
I'm just sitting here thinking, like this house is fucked. Like this house is like, just sell it and be done with it. Like,
it was a very ahead of his time house builder that made it. It's supposed to be like that.
Also, when that vacuum explodes, there's no way that house was ever going to smell good again. Like, let's be real here.
No fucking way. Especially considering nobody's lived in that house for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm amazed the plumbing works. I'm amazed that it works.
Yeah. It was pretty ridiculous. We did also have the classic mousetrap scenario where they laid out a million mousetraps and ended up rolling around in it.
that scene pissed me off. When they start going off, don't move. They literally roll into it. They roll right into it. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't feel bad for you at all.
No, because the worst thing that would have happened is you would have gotten a few like caught in your pants or something if you just stayed where you were.
You might have got a few like side clippage maybe, or like tiny shit, but no, they had to go roll in it. And I'm just like, also those were mouse traps, so I don't think they were as bad as like rat traps, but still.
Yeah. I also loved like just the zaniness of like the scene where they had their first encounter with the mouse, that they're like going down to have breakfast. It's like, oh well, now that he knows we're here, we probably won't see him at all. He's just gonna be hiding from us. And he goes to pour himself a bowl of cereal, and the fucking mouse is just in the box.
Also, where did they get the cereal? Did they buy it?
I bought it on the way. I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, is that just there? Like, are you eating ancient cereal?
I hope not. It'd probably just be powder at that point.
There are points where there was like a lot of food in this house. I'm sitting here going like, when? Like, when was this?
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe Ernie got to take home the stock of food that he had in his restaurant. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Either way, that house was full of poo at one point. So
yeah, this is true.
There's a lot of suspension of disbelief moments in this.
Well, yeah, again, it's a DreamWorks movie, a live action DreamWorks movie, so it's gonna be a little quite a bit of a stretch throughout. They end up going to the pound to get a cat.
Also, the most evil person in this entire movie is there.
Yeah, right.
That woman like dragging her kid away, who obviously just left their cat to be put down, and I'm just like, that woman's a monster.
And there's like almost every cat they have there is like a kitten. Like they're all like babies.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on there.
And then yeah, they tell him that they want an old experienced cat who's good at mousing. And his exact words is he wants one mean pussy.
Mm-hmm.
True story. Family movie. So they end up adopting Catzilla, as the staff there have named it, who's apparently survived being gassed once.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When that creature pops out of the box, like the legs, it just starts waddling around. I'm like what? That was like that CG was like. I was like, ew. I don't like that.
I was getting flashbacks from the live action Zom 100 movie.
Oh yeah, the fucking shark, zombie shark.
Yeah, zombie shark.
With the fucking humans it ate.
Yeah. And
yeah, that was weird.
We got some straight up Tom and Jerry shit from this scene.
I love how they just leave the cat in there. They're like, all right, our job's done. It'll take care of it. And the thing just demolishes half the house.
Yeah, they do the whole like running in the inside of the piano thing and is playing the piano. Like, yeah, classic Tom and Jerry shit.
That scene was kind of fun.
The mouse leads it into a fucking dumbwaiter. And then the mouse comes up, like climbs up and bites through the rope that's holding it up and just fucking drops it like 3 stories in the dumbwaiter. Like, that cat's fucking dead.
I don't know though. We do hear it meow after it hits the bottom, so.
But we don't ever see it again.
No, it probably died after that, but like, part of me likes to believe it was still alive.
Maybe I'm not saying it died on contact, but
maybe it escaped and we just don't know.
Could be. I mean, the house did collapse later.
That cat was not human, or not like a normal cat.
Not a normal cat. Not a normal cat.
that mouse was not a normal mouse either, though. So then we also then get this whole thing where they're like, we need to make the money. Let's take it from the workers because that'll go well.
Yeah, let's just withhold their next couple paychecks because that'll go over well. And like if he had just shown a little bit more tact, it might have worked out for them. We've just been like, hey, so like there's this thing going on, and if everything goes well, we'll be coming into a lot of money. So if I could just withhold a check or two, I'll give you all like $1,000 bonus afterwards, in addition to the money we owe you. Like that probably would have been fine. But no, he showed no tact, and they rioted. Went straight past protests and straight to pitchforks and torches.
Yeah, Lars is not the most confident man in the world.
No, it was like weird too, because as he's doing this announcement, he's like holding balls of yarn. He's just like gesticulating with them. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Because there's that earlier scene when his wife leaves him, where he's like, "But I stood up for myself. You thought that would make you happy," and it's just like, "No, buddy, no. That's not what she cares about."
Nope, that's for sure.
But then we get to see him try to run the factory on his own.
Yeah, that doesn't really work out very well.
No.
Because it basically is like, I'm going to go in there by myself and try to make $1,200 worth of string. Good luck with that, bud.
I mean, he does make the string, just not with the source he was expecting.
Well, I mean, he didn't. It's recycled. It's recycled because as he's going through and trying to load everything up, a loose piece of string from his suit gets caught in the machine, and basically he converts his suit back into its base materials.
Apparently, I was reading about this. Apparently, they had to make custom clothes for that scene that would specifically unravel the way it does. Like, that is a practical effect that actually came out looking really good, all things considered.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too as it was happening. I'm like, I feel like that's not how it would work.
No, they had to specially make them so that they would do that. Probably very expensive, in all honesty.
The things that people wouldn't bother to do nowadays.
No, just use CG.
Yep.
Or AI. Probably AI these days.
But throughout this whole process, Ernie learns that some people came wanting to buy the factory, and that Lars had been hiding that from him. So he tries to meet up with the people and try to like broker a deal for the factory. And like as he's like standing in like the town square or whatever, waiting for them to show up, he's about to go and fucking like flirt with these two ladies just sitting on a bench.
These two Bulgarian hair models are just there.
Yeah. Who appear later in the movie. And like he like goes to tip his hat to them and it blows away. And long story short, he ends up getting hit by a bus. I'm sure he just got up and walked away from that.
What was that driver doing? Because he was in the middle of the road for a while. Like
who knows?
Should have seen him.
It was snowy. Maybe it just slid out of his control a little bit. I don't know. But he ends up in the hospital, and like the two hair models like take him, like they go too.
For some reason,
they're like, "Oh yeah, we are his sisters." What the fuck?
Well, they were saying they were sisters, and then
but because they were his sisters.
I thought they were just saying that they were sisters or something. No. What happened was
they had to be a family.
I think what happened was the doctor was like, "Are you guys family?" And they're like, "Yes, we're sisters." They're talking about themselves, and he just kind of spoke that. I think it was just kind of it was one of those weird like who's on first moments.
Yeah.
But while all this is happening, Lars
Walken's having a hell of a time.
Well, he's doing. We'll get to him in a minute, but Lars's ex-wife finds out about the LaRue, and then immediately goes back to him.
Yeah, she's waiting for him in his office with like this like lingerie.
Yeah, this scene is like one of the most well-remembered scenes in the movie. It's literally 7 seconds long, and the funniest part of it is when he drops the yarn balls in the paint, and we cut up to the fucking painting of the dad, and it just has like this face like.
He's just like, oh god.
Yeah, that is that whole scene. I was like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah. See, that was one of the ones that stood out in my memory too from when I watched it as a kid. Of course, at the time, having no idea what it was being insinuated, but
yeah, now you watch it now and you're like,
it's like they banged in that office. And even like blatantly says it too later. But she ended up giving them the $1,200 they needed to keep the house.
Which leads me to believe she took all of his money too.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Actually, no, she was a nurse, so it might have been her money.
I don't know
Because we
how
see
much
her
the
in that
nurses make in the 90s.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, no,
Couldn't
it's
tell
the
you.
third. It's the 9030s.
It's the 20th century. That's it. It's the same thing as Batman the Animated Series. It's just the 20th century. Don't think too hard about it.
Yeah. But yeah, Christopher Walken in his Roachmobile.
Yes. Who was literally like playing himself, but also playing like Dale Gribble, essentially.
He straight up eats mouse shit.
Yep, he does. I love the whole like scene where they're like going through the stuff. He's like, "Oh, don't touch that! Don't touch that! That's the big one." He's like, "It's a flea bomb." So it works on mice too.
He's like a less conspiracy theorist like Dale Gribble.
Yeah.
Um,
And he's like getting into the mind of the mouse, like going through this whole fucking process. And he's like right there, like with it the whole time until the mouse attaches his like little rope to the trailer hitch or the whatever the fucking what the hell is that?
the hoist or whatever, or the
I forget what it's called. Basically attached to his truck and pulled him through the innards of the house, like tearing the whole fucking thing up.
yeah, like that. First off, I'm like, how did that thing get all the way around there, like in that particular way of it?
Yeah, right.
Also, and then we find out too in one of the more funny cuts. That's not even how it ends. Like apparently, there's a lot that happens off screen.
Yeah, because apparently, well, we didn't mention earlier, but apparently, when they were first getting the rundown of the house, while they were getting the will read, apparently the previous owner had been found in a trunk in the attic, and apparently that's where they found Christopher Walken later, after his whole debacle with the mouse, which leads me to believe that somehow this mouse is tricking people into that trunk. He's done it multiple times. So I mean, I guess the Schmutz brothers should consider themselves lucky.
The mouse liked them for some reason.
For some reason, he just like fucking with them.
Yeah, but then of course after that, then it becomes like this whole thing where like they just start getting desperate to take out the mouse. Like they walk into the kitchen and find this perfectly made sandwich, and it's like, how did this happen?
Because apparently, in addition to being Jerry Mouse, he's also Ratatouille.
Yeah, well, we find out that later for sure.
Yeah.
And then like it gets to the point where like the mouse turns off the gas, which this is a pure suspension of disbelief moment because they're like Ernie gets stuck in the fireplace somehow, and then
I don't even remember how that happened. He was just in the fireplace.
It just happens because of course it does. And Lars is trying to like light up a mat, like a lighter, a match, so he can see him.
They could see, but the mouse had turned on the gas line or fucking opened it up. So
it also left the matchbook conveniently there.
Yep. Yeah, it brought it over to him as he was looking for like a flashlight or something.
Yeah. I will say though, this is a massive suspension of disbelief moment. When he
would be dead as fuck.
They'd both be dead as fuck, and the house probably would have exploded.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, like that scene is ridiculous. Ernie gets launched out of the chimney and lands conveniently in the lake in the bathtub that's still underwater.
Yep.
With the cardboard cutout is still perfectly intact, which I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
And keep in mind that he just got hit by a bus. And then he gets fired like a cannon through the fucking chimney. Like however many fucking, I don't even know how high he went, but he went high. He went real fucking high.
The impact of hitting the ice would have killed him. Like there's
for sure.
No way.
Realistically, he shouldn't have even been in that position in the first place because the bus alone should have put him in a condition where he wasn't moving much.
No. Like the dude's made of iron. But
yeah. Fucking get hit by a bus, launched out of a chimney like a cannon, hitting the ice, and ended up at the bottom.
Also, like
he probably would have gotten fucking hypothermia.
Also, third-degree burns at the same time because we see Lars after, and holy shit,
yeah,
because Lars was point blank when that happened to him. He's just a little charred.
Mm.
But then it gets to the point where Ernie finally snaps, and he's just like, "I'm gonna fucking kill it," and he's got a gun.
Yeah, he's got a fucking double barrel shotgun.
And he ends up destroying everything but the mouse, and then ends up somehow blowing them through the fucking floor. Like,
yeah, because the flea bomb from earlier had ended up
right.
underneath the floor, and he shot it with a double barrel, and somehow that caused the entire floor to just disintegrate.
That also would have killed them because they
Yep.
fell a pretty good height.
Yep.
And then somehow in the end of it all, they end up just throwing a piece of fruit, and it
Yeah, they
the
get in an
mouse out.
argument over the factory because Lars finds out that Ernie was trying to sell the factory from under him. And they get into a fight, and he just fucking throws an orange at him, and he misses and hits the mouse.
And then their poor decision making again. They have the chance right here to kill it, but they can't do it.
So they pack it up in a box and send it to where the fuck do they send it?
Fidel Castro.
Yeah, and then they fucking. Why did they put a fucking return address on it?
Yeah, why did they even send it there? Just fucking take it to the dump. Like,
well, obviously the mouse is smart. They wanted it to get it as far away as possible so it wouldn't be able to find its way back before they sold it. But clearly that didn't work out because they put a return address on the package, and yeah, it ended up getting sent back. And keep in mind, all of this is happening in less than a week. Because from the moment they found out that it was worth money and they were going to have an auction, they set the auction for a week later. So they go through this whole process, destroy the house, send the fucking mouse to Cuba and back, and fix the whole thing within a week.
Why did they choose Cuba
bullshit
things?
I don't know.
Like, I would have sent
they just wanted it off the mainland. I don't know.
I would have sent it farther than that.
Yeah.
Also, they make a point about how there's no air holes in the box. That mouse is not normal because it survives that entire thing.
Well, I mean, we saw a cat earlier in the movie that survived being gassed, so.
True. They also somehow restore the house within this short period of time, like perfectly.
Yeah, because all this has been happening, and so like days have gone by with them trying to deal with this mouse. They have like what, 2 days maybe before the auction,
and the house is
they
demolished.
Get the whole house. The whole house is completely fixed from all the damage, in addition to like regular renovations that they were already doing.
That house was straight up demolished. I have no fucking clue how they did that.
Yeah, no fucking way. Like the suspension of disbelief it's in the stratosphere. It's gone.
That house was probably a write-off because the whole fucking structure was destroyed like at that point.
Yeah, no kidding.
But the auction.
So yes, the auction starts, and there's all sorts of the original Fat Cat is there, but there's also a bunch more.
God, that scene with him and the cherries. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Yeah, right.
The Bulgarian hair models show up too.
For some reason, they weren't bidding.
Well, they were there just for because we needed
that interesting scene with them.
We also needed the visual gag of her hair is yarn, is string.
Yeah, because they do like these weird hairstyles where like one of them is like a ball of yarn and the other one's like a spool.
Yeah, because they needed a moment for Lars to be like distracted by the sexy for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, right. And so we get that scene in the kitchen where the dude just straight up offers them $10 million for the house to just cancel the auction and just sell it to him. And which they don't do.
I was so annoyed. I was like, for the love of God, guys, just do it. Get it out.
And shit, you fucking be satisfied. You could offer them a tenth of that and like, be like, all right, I'll take it. Like
$10 million, just cut your losses at that point. The amount of shit you've been through. Like, holy
shit.
No
shit. No shit.
But then we get that amazing line of like the one lady talking to him and be like, oh yeah, by the way, the raisins were a nice touch. And he's like, thank you. Raisins.
Yeah, because at this point, Lars has found the box that has already been sent back with a big hole in the side of it. And he realizes the mouse is back. So they go through the whole, like, I love the scene where like Ernie realizes that like a mouse pops up and eats his dad's string. And like he's trying to like smash it with the gavel while he's making like the announcement for the auction. And he's just like, I'm surprised anybody stayed after that because the dude's like nuts. He just looks like he's fucking crazy.
Losing his mind up there.
And then fucking go through this whole process of like them trying to catch it while the auction is going on, and it's getting pretty high up there. Like there's good money getting thrown around.
Oh yeah, including one point where like the mouse climbs down the Bulgarian girl's dress, and Lars is like reaching in there to get it.
Yeah, it reaches right into exactly where you think it would be. And,
and it's like this entire scene that goes on way too long.
And the other lady sees it happen and gets jealous, so she grabs Ernie's hand and shoves him into her boobs.
Yeah, she was clearly interested. Well, apparently find out later the other one was too, but the best part too is his wife's in front of him the whole time. She's like, "Stop that!" I'm like, you don't seem that concerned, lady.
Just I can't. Well, she doesn't really care. Like it isn't actually blatantly said, but it's pretty much assumed that the second this gets sold and he has that money, she's going to divorce him and take it all.
Yeah, pretty clear. But yeah, that whole thing, and then he ends up getting the mouse, and because of that, he ends up bidding on the house himself for like $6 million or whatever.
Yeah, however much money, it was a lot. And then one of those like fancy schmancy like cigarette holder things ends up in the spool of yarn's hair. And catches her hair on fire.
Oh yeah, because the geniuses are like, let's put it out with alcohol. That totally is going to work.
Well, it turns out it was a very high proof because that went right up.
And then the whole room turns into chaos because then you got the fat cat is choking on an olive, which then gets launched into his wife's mouth and she's choking on an olive.
Yeah.
And then the rich Texan fucking shows up. And just like
sweeps her off her feet, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they're like freaking out about the whole mouse thing. So like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna fucking drown him out. They shove a hose into the fucking wall because they want to drown him. And well, first of all, how the fuck did that wall fill with water so fast? Like that was incredibly fast.
Also, it would have just flown out the hole. Water doesn't work that whatever. It's fine.
Well, apparently the water was flowing enough and fast enough where it didn't matter. But ultimately the entire fucking structure just collapses and they all get sucked out of the house by the fucking huge wave of water that hits them. And then the whole house just collapses.
Oh yeah, the Bulgarian lady gets her hair put out too at some point. So that was good, I guess.
Yeah, she's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, but I do love that line where he's like, "See, this is just an example of how strong these houses were. It'll last forever," and then proceeds to just collapse.
Yep. So the house is gone. They have not a single dime to their name. They're fucked.
And then
they leave
the rich Texan forever, I guess.
And then they decide, all right, well, fuck it. We only have one thing left, so we're just gonna go sleep at the factory. And turns out the mouse also survived because it's hiding underneath the car. And then when they're in the factory, somehow the mouse got like a block of cheese on the conveyor belt and put it through the string machines and invented string cheese.
Sure. Sure.
And that made them be like, oh my God, what a brilliant idea. So they converted the factory to do the same thing that it always did, but with cheese.
It's just Ratatouille, the origin story.
Pretty much. And like, ultimately it's a happy ending because they end up extremely successful. They get to keep the string factory and fucking Ernie gets to like continue his passion with the culinary arts by making string cheese with all these crazy flavors like herring.
Yep. And then Lars gets with the Bulgarian spool lady and I guess they're happy.
Yeah. It's a happy ending for everybody.
Yeah, and it ends with the painting smiling because he's finally happy with his sons. And I was just like, that's a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a movie that I watched a lot back in the day with my cousin. We used to watch a lot of these kinds of movies. And God, I forgot how fucking zany and crazy it was.
It's a fun movie, but my God, is it dark at times? Like,
Well, that's just how family movies were back in the day. They weren't like super coddly about that kind of shit. It's like, no, like shit can be real. Like, you know?
I'm pretty sure my letterbox review for this movie was just simply 4 stars, and then my review was just in quotations, "Fun for the whole family," they said.
Oh
Uh,
god. But yeah, that's Mouse Hunt.
it's entertaining. It is very much a weird time capsule, I'd say, for of this period of movie making.
This is why I love kids and family movies in the 80s and 90s, because this is the kind of shit you get.
It's funny too, because this movie actually, like looking at the numbers, this movie made 125.4 million on a $38 million budget, and apparently a lot of that came with like it got really lucky on its release date.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like I guess it came out like right. It was released like 6 days before Christmas or something, so it was just a really good timing or something.
Yeah. Well, it was a Christmas movie, as you mentioned earlier, so
Well, it's kind of crazy because it released right around the same year. It released the same year and almost around the same time as Titanic, Tomorrow Never Dies, and Scream 2. So that would have been a very competitive week, like set of movies right there.
yeah. Well, it also, I remember it played a lot on TV, and it was one of those ones that was like, you'd find it in the family section of Blockbuster a lot, or so it was one of those ones that I feel like it probably made a lot of its money like after its theatrical release.
I remember this movie, like, because I did actually vaguely remember parts of it. Um, I do remember this movie airing on Cartoon Network back in the day.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely one of those movies that they like to play on the kids channels. I'm sure it was slightly edited.
Which is really funny too, because this movie's owned by Viacom, Paramount, but it aired on the rival network.
Go figure.
That's weird. Yeah, and if anyone wants to watch it, it's currently on Pluto TV. So
I think it's also in English and Spanish.
at least you got the English.
But so yeah, that's movie one.
Yeah, right. So now for movie two, which was like a last minute change because fucking streaming, we're talking about Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
The classic film.
It's like the only Will Ferrell movie I like, so that's something.
That's fair.
Yeah, so this movie is a very interesting time period, time capsule as well. Released in 2009, not 2006. This was released still during NASCAR's peak. So NASCAR was still very popular at the time. And it is a comedy film, although most people you ask would call it a documentary. And it's like a typical sports like story. You get the rise, the fall, and the rise again of a character. So I have to ask, what are your thoughts initially on this film?
I mean, I've always loved this movie. I mean, I remember watching it like back when it first came out. Although, so I watched it on, I don't remember if it was Tubi or Pluto. It was on one of those. But I watched it on there, and about halfway through the movie, I realized that I was watching the theatrical run, and it dawned on me that I don't think I've watched the theatrical version like since it came out.
Yeah, because I watched I have the Blu-ray, so I just watched the unrated extended cut.
Well, I have that on my hard drive, like, and I did watch that. I think I mentioned it like a month or two ago with my brother, but it was just weird. It's like it had been so long since I watched the theatrical version that I forgot there was a theatrical. I thought it was just the one.
Yeah, because they cut a good amount out of the theatrical release, which is interesting. But yeah. So Will Ferrell plays obviously the titular Ricky Bobby, who is the son of a famous racer who's also a deadbeat dad.
Semi-famous,
Semi-famous. He had
talent.
Like
mid-level.
Yeah, but he was born in the backseat of a car.
Yep.
His mom wasn't going to make it to the hospital, so he just slammed the brakes and That's how
Out
it
of
works, I
cane.
guess. Um,
Also, kind of suspending disbelief a little bit.
yeah. And then we get the kind of how he grew up, and like there's like the scene where he's at school and his dad just shows up, and then immediately gets fucking taken away because he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
His dad is not a great character in this movie. Like I'm not gonna lie. He kind of
I don't think
sucks.
he's supposed to be. So
No, he's not. But there's always like these moments where you think he's gonna turn the corner, and then he just immediately doesn't.
and then he sends back his steak and makes a huge scene in Applebee's.
Yeah, that scene was pretty good. But the whole like thing he tells his son there before he disappears again is the whole like, if you're not first, you're last, like that iconic line. Which Ricky takes to heart because then he eventually becomes a pit crew member on a NASCAR team that's like the worst team in the sport. And we get this great scene of like the driver getting out to go pee and then falling asleep at a table. And they're like, shit, who can drive? Someone get in the car.
Yeah.
Anyone want to go fast? I want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
And he ends up getting in the car and winning the race because that's just how that works. I will say, as a NASCAR fan watching this movie, there are so many moments where I'm just like, no. That car was a back of the pack like shitbox. There was no way it was gonna win the goddamn race.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ends up winning that race and then becomes the driver for the team. And we get that amazing like thing where he's being interviewed and we get that classic line of like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
yeah,
like
that's probably the quote I use the most often.
Oh, anytime I'm just talking to people like in public, I'll just do that. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
kids don't get that nowadays.
No, they don't. They don't at all. I mean, kids don't get this movie nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ends up getting to a point where basically Ricky Bobby wins every race. Like that's just a thing. And they end up expanding to 2 cars, and we get his best friend who becomes the second driver, played by John C. Reilly, who is my favorite character in the movie.
Oh, easily. He's fucking hilarious.
Cal Naughton Jr., the old spice car.
Yep.
Fun fact, he was also in the movie Days of Thunder, another NASCAR film, years earlier. So that's kind of fun. And it becomes this whole thing where they always win. Like they have their slingshot move, the shake and bake, as they call it.
Yep.
And we get through the whole montage. Like we get to the whole scene where Ricky meets his wife. I hope she's 18. Yeah, that whole scene, I'm just like, God damn it, that would not age well today.
Nope.
Yeah, and we cut to present day where he's a millionaire, like a billionaire. He lives in a giant house with all these cars, always wins, and Cal Naughton always finishes second. And there's a whole thing where he's like, could I just like maybe finish first once? And he's like, no, man, you're gonna shake and bake, man.
No. I'm the shake and the bake.
But eventually it gets to a point where the owner of the team passes away and leaves it to his son, who just hates Ricky Bobby for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not exactly a likable person in the beginning of the movie.
He's not, but he's also like winning every race. Like, why would you even change anything?
Yeah.
All his changes just lead to his eventual downfall.
Well, at the same time, I can kind of understand it because Cal Naughton he comes in second in every race, like despite everything. So if Ricky was out of the picture, he'd still be winning first.
But the way he does it is so bizarre. So he brings in the other greatest character of this movie, Gene Gerard, who is this was the time, so we'll be as tactful about this. He is a very gay French Formula One driver.
No, it's a Formula E.
Yeah, Formula E. Played by Sacha Baron Cohen. It's Borat, basically.
Yeah.
They don't go lightly on the whole gay thing. They're very
they lean real hard into it.
It was the time. And so I will say they bring him in and he's immediately just like the best driver in NASCAR, which I'm like,
yeah,
that doesn't usually happen because Formula One and
you spilled my macchiato.
I saw your Highlander movie, Ricky Bobby. It was shit. I love that line so much. Apparently,
would your name perhaps be Ricky Bobby?
I also love that he's played by he drives the Perrier car.
Yeah, right.
Those die casts are so fucking hard to find. Like the Old Spice, the Wonder Bread, and the Perrier car. You could buy those back in the day. They're very hard to find nowadays.
I'll bet.
Yeah, and he immediately comes in and he's just immediately successful. And it drives Ricky insane to the point where he gets into an altercation all because he won't say he likes Crips.
Yeah.
And then he just breaks his arm. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, this feels dumb.
Break it, Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, he won't do it. He does. And he's like, oh, fuck.
He's like, oh, nope, he did it. And then he tries to race anyway, even though he's got an arm in a cast.
Arm in a cast and a giant Fig Newton sticker on the windshield. Yep. The sticker is very dangerous and highly inconvenient. But damn, do I love Fig Newtons. NASCAR would never let that happen nowadays. But,
yeah. So ultimately, he ends up getting into a pretty sizable crash.
Pretty sizable crash. He's running around screaming, and
thinks he's on fire.
Thinks he's on fire, which he was not. But they take him to the hospital, and there's this whole montage of them all coming to visit him, including his wife. I'm like, sorry, we have to pull the plug. Just like,
I decided I want the plug pulled. He's fine. He's just taking a nap. Yeah. He's like, look at him. I've never seen him make those sounds before. He's,
yeah. His wife.
Very clearly nothing wrong with him.
Yeah, because there's that whole scene of them like earlier in the film where they're all having like dinner, and like he keeps talking about baby Jesus.
I love that scene. Dear 8 pounds, 6 ounce, sweet baby Jesus.
His kids are Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yep.
But there's like a whole point.
He has a sponsor that he has to say during grace.
Yeah. It's just making fun of NASCAR shit, even though all NASCAR drivers are like, yeah, this movie's a documentary.
Yep.
But yeah, eventually it gets to the point where they're like, he thinks he can't walk anymore. They're like, you can walk, Ricky Bobby. Your legs are alive. And he's like, no, they're not. I'm paralyzed. He's like, see, I'll show you. And he just stabs himself in the leg. And he's like, he also just freaking out because he just realizes he stabbed himself. He's like, I can walk.
Yeah. And they try to pry out the knife with another knife.
Yeah, he's like, all right, get the knife. Use this one. No, there's 2 knives in my leg.
That's another thing that I quote a lot from this movie is the whole like when he's doing the whole like, I hope you have beautiful, wonderful, talented, intelligent boys, and they lose the use of their legs, whatever. Fucking Michael Clark Duncan is just, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I love his character Lucius, the crew chief. Yep. He's so fucking funny.
Great character.
I love the dynamic of all 3 of them.
I always love the outtakes at the end of the movie are fucking hilarious.
If you don't chew Big Red, fuck you. Oh man. Yeah, but eventually they get back to the track, and Ricky is traumatized still.
Yeah, he can only go like 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, that scene, that was like, Jesus Christ. But while he's having his breakdown, the owner of the team basically tries to pit him against his friend by making his wife immediately jump to Cal because she's a gold digger. And then like she just straight up like leaves him like that, and I'm like, how did she? I'm just trying to figure out how she won that divorce battle, like with that.
Well, I'm pretty sure they haven't even gotten the divorce yet. I think she just kicked them out.
Yeah, and I'm just like sitting there going like, how does that?
Like, I'm pretty sure by the end of the movie they're still technically married.
I don't know. It's one of those things where you just don't think about it.
And also, like, why even? Because he makes a shit. Even if he like stopped racing forever, the dude still had a shit ton of money.
Yeah, it's like how does I just see that it's like how does that work? But
It's
you
like
know,
it's not like you guys are broke just because he ain't racing anymore. Like they say at that Grace like the dinner scene that he had made over $20 million just that year.
well,
So
that's
like
the other thing too. I'm like,
he's been doing this for at least 10 years.
you'd think that that was all in his name too, but I
Who
don't
knows?
know. I don't know. But like
It's just silly.
he's so like the scene too is like the fact the thing I didn't like here was how they wrote Cal because they write him as like he's like, well, like it's okay, man. It's like you can still go. He's like, no, it's like fuck you, dude. Like,
It's like, yeah, no, we're not friends. It's just like you're gonna let this get between us.
I mean, to be fair, this is like the most like spot on like Ricky Bobby is in the film because like it's legitimately a point where he has every right to be like mad, and they're all acting like you're overreacting, man.
Yeah, right. Like no, like nah, that dude be in the hospital afterwards.
Yeah,
Like
there's
would have
also
sick that cougar on him.
he probably has so many like liable like lawsuits he could file if he really wanted to, like wrongful termination, like
Yeah.
so many things. But it's that's not the point of this movie. So he's now unemployed, living with his mom with his kids because of course the wife doesn't actually want the kids. Um,
Gets a job delivering pizzas.
yeah, and then he runs into his dad,
Hmm.
who just shows up out of the blue, and yeah,
Yeah, and his mom starts fucking whooping those kids.
I love the scene where
It's
she
because
said,
they are just little shits.
I love the scene where she sends him off to like church for the day, and they come back screaming about anarchy.
Yeah.
And
I
she's
don't
like,
even know what that means, but I love it.
and she's just immediately like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. There's also the assistant for the owner of the team, played by Amy Adams. Who I didn't realize that was Amy Adams at the time.
Hmm.
Um, and she clearly likes Ricky Bobby,
Hmm.
but yeah. So there's that whole thing where like he's trying to get his mojo back essentially.
Hmm.
And his dad's all like, "You gotta drive with the cougar in the car." He's like, "The fuck's wrong with you?" He's like, "You need to drive with the cougar." I'm just like,
You just do it. Just don't be afraid. It'll be fine.
yeah. And then I love the thing too where he's like, "All right, there's 10 grams of what was it called? It was like
10 kilos of Colombian Bam Bam.
him under the car, and I called the police. You better drive." He's like,
Yep.
"What?" He's like, "Hey, they're on the way. You better go." So he's just flying around, and he finally gets away. And then he's like, he pulls him out off the bottom of the car, and he's like, "Well, son, you did it. And by the way, don't go trying to trying to snort these Lucky Charms." It's just like, okay,
I also love how that scene started too. With like he got the fucking buckets of water and he just fucking throws the bucket of water on him. It's just like, how did stock car racing get started? It's just, yeah.
yeah,
He like gives the answer. He's like, that's right. And he dumps another bucket of water on him. He's just like, well, I filled up 3.
yeah. And then he gets his license back, which is the funniest scene of the thing because he's like doing it with the cougar in the car, and the driving teacher's like, "Oh yeah," because he loses his license earlier during the pizza delivery, and he has to deliver it on a bike
Yep.
to his dad because his dad's like, "Is that a Huffy?"
That's a nice bike.
But he gets the license back because the driver's like, "Ricky Bobby, you are a excellent driver," and he's like terrified of the cougar, and he's like, Sheila, calm down.
Yeah.
I think it was Sheila, but
No, it was Karen.
Karen, yeah, calm down, Karen.
And they all go out to Applebee's to celebrate.
Yeah, and then the dad immediately
gets him.
reverts back to being a dickhead.
Yep. Not that they ever really stopped, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
he has one more moment in this movie that's like, what the hell? But we'll get to it. So yeah, they end up getting ready to run that final race. Well, he does go to visit Jean Girard again because we get to meet him and his family, including his husband and their the 2 twins or best friends that they do everything together. They even poop together. One single plop.
and Most Def is just hanging out there too.
Just like that whole scene.
What the fuck?
Like he's supposed to be a parody, but at the same time, he's a little too like on the nose at times.
And then like fucking he had to go to the bar and he's like playing the fucking like NASCAR driving arcade game there. And he
Yeah,
bumps into his assistant. She gives him a pep talk, and then they bang in the bar.
sure do. Yeah, because they do that classic thing where it's like they make her look really like nerdy and like uptight the entire film, and then like they show her here and she's all like, "Oh yeah, no, this is just like when I'm not at work, I'm casual," and he's like, "Oh shit, you're hot."
Yep.
Um, yeah, so that happens, just of course.
Yeah.
And they end up going to the next race, and they have this car that's thrown together, and it's kind of a piece of shit, but they like manage to get a bunch of stuff thrown together with all the people in the garage. I do love the sponsor, Julio's Thongs for Men.
Yeah.
and the guy, they're like, thongs for men? Kind of Yahoo wears one of those, and it cuts to the one guy with the thong. He pulls his pants up. He's like, yeah, I know, right?
Oh, yeah, and they try to pretend that one of them fucking had died, like working on it or whatever.
Yeah, and then he just shows up.
And he's just like poking his head around the corner, trying to listen to like the nice things they're saying about him.
I love too how like they got a sponsor. Like at NASCAR, it's like it doesn't matter what the sponsor is, but they end up just getting rid of it and just painting the car with the Cougar car and the ME. And he's like, well, I like the Cougar, but what is ME? He's like, it's you. It's just you out there. And I'm just like sitting there going like, sure. I'm pretty sure they could have still used that money. You have to give the money back to Julio's now, right?
Well, by the end, I think they're doing all right. So
probably, but so I have to say, this is strictly just my inner NASCAR nerd talking because I know how this movie was filmed. But this final race is supposedly at Talladega, even though it's very clearly Rockingham Speedway. Because I'm like sitting here, I'm like the Talladega is the biggest track on the circuit, and they're very much not running at that. They're running at a very small track.
Yeah.
And this is not how plate racing works, like at all. But ignoring that, it's a very entertaining race. Because there's so many moments where they're just going like completely like hard, like for no reason. Like there's the point where like the guy that replaced Ricky, they're like, I need you to take him out. And he's like, yes, sir. And just crashes and directs the field. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Caused like this huge fucking car pileup.
But what's great is like we get to the end of the thing where they end up both wrecking each other, and then we get the classic running to the finish line.
Yep. Which was pretty epic.
It was, especially how it ends though, because they get to the finish line and then they just make out on the line.
Yeah,
because of a reference to an earlier quote. And I like how Gene Durant's like, "Oh, can we go for another?" And he's like, "No, you get one.
No, one's enough, bud."
But because they both wreck their cars and running doesn't count, it's like, well, we have to revert to whoever was in third at the time, and it's fucking Cal, and he finally wins a race.
Yep. So it's a happy ending for everybody.
Yeah, and I like how immediately like the wife's like, "Oh, you won again, so that means you get to be with me again." And he's like, "Nah,
I'm good.
I'm with her now. I'm with her now."
And she whips out her boobs again.
Oh yeah, she's like,
whips out her boobs. They have a boob off.
Yeah, because I love that scene because like she's like, "Well, you'll never get these again," and he's like, "Yeah, it's all right." She's like, "Oh yeah, well, I got these," and the other girl's like, "You got game," and then the daughter's like, "It's like, sorry, can I get one together?" Like just looking at them, and they're just giving him this look like.
Yeah, the whole like what during the race when Cal is like. Because before the race started, Ricky apologized to Cal for like always putting him at second and everything, and he's so like confused by this that he's like talking to his pit crew about it, and like at one point, like he says something like, "It's like well, she was unconscious every time we had sex." It was a weird fucking thing.
Yeah, like that was such a weird moment. Oh my god! But
it was so bizarre.
I also find it funny that they just fired his entire crew, like Ricky's entire team.
Right.
Like even though they were very much a winning team, like that I don't think that's how that would work, but whatever.
Right. They were working at like a car wash.
Yeah, like I'm just like sitting here. I'm like either they all quit in protest or that guy's just a really bad businessman.
It could be, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he bankrupts his team there at the end anyways.
Probably.
And then it ends with them all just kind of walking away and being like, So let's go get kicked out of an Applebee's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did forget though the last dickhead moment from the dad, where there's a whole running subplot where Ricky always leaves like a ticket for his dad at the press box, and then his dad finally shows up. Yep, his dad finally shows up to claim those tickets, and the guy's all like, "These have been waiting for you for a very long time." He's like, "I know," and then immediately sells them.
Yeah, scalps them.
I was like, what
for cheap too, for cheap as fuck.
Yeah,
like we just like $60 for each or something. Like,
yeah, I was like, what an asshole. But then also, it just cuts to him like watching the race from a fence outside the track. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, sure, whatever.
Also, like it was a very small like bit part, but I also love like the owner of like the cars or whatever, his wife.
Oh yeah.
There's like a couple of really funny scenes with her.
Yeah, she's very much what you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the movie ends on a happy note. It's unclear what exactly happens after, but there was a few NASCAR cameos in this movie. I know Greg Biffle, rest in peace, appeared, although he was only in the special features apparently. Also, Frank Welker, the famous guy who plays all the animal sounds in like cartoons, he played the cougar.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did the cougar noises.
That's funny.
I know like a lot of so the broadcasters were actual NASCAR broadcasters at the time. And a lot of the drivers from the 2005 season make appearances, like Dale Jr., Dale Jarrett. I don't think Jeff Gordon was there. Like a whole bunch of them. Jimmy Johnson. And then a bunch appeared in a non-speaking roles where you see their cars anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie is interesting in a lot of ways. Because a lot of like there's a lot of modern NASCAR fans who don't like this movie because they think it makes the sport look bad. And I'm like sitting here going like, I don't know, it's kind of spot on in a lot of cases. like I'm like sitting here going like, like this isn't really an inaccurate take in a lot of ways. Like the most ridiculous parts of this movie are like the training montage with the cougar and stuff. But like most of like the whole like I don't know what to do with my hands or like the whole sponsorship reading that shit off. Yeah, it's heavily exaggerated, but that shit's pretty real. Like it's not like it's not ridiculous at all by any means. Like when I think of the pantheon of like racing films, like this one's up there. I still prefer Days of Thunder just because Days of Thunder is basically just Top Gun but with NASCARs. But yeah, I enjoy Talladega Nights. It's the one Will Ferrell movie that doesn't annoy me.
It's a classic. It's one of those ones that I come back to every few years because
it is surprising how funny this movie is.
Yeah, especially if you haven't seen it in a while. It's very, very funny.
Well, there's like the humor is both. It works for non-NASCAR fans, but it's also very specific to NASCAR fans.
I just realized this movie's 20 years old.
Sure is. It sure is.
Don't know how to feel about that.
Well, if you want to feel even older, take into the account that it's been over 10 years since Jeff Gordon retired. So keep that one in mind.
So yeah, those were our two films for this episode.
Yeah, no, I interesting picks. I did enjoy. I mean, obviously, I love Days of Thunder, but it was interesting experiencing Mouse Hunt for basically the first time because I vaguely remembered it, but this is the first time I really remember watching it.
I kind of wish because it would have been kind of like it would have worked with the theme better. I kind of wish I had done Rat Race.
That's what I thought the movie was at first because there was a point where my brain completely forgot, and I'm like trying to remember. It's like, what is it, like Rat something? I'm like, no, it can't be Rat Race. That doesn't sound right. And then I just had to ask
because that was one of the other ones I was playing around with in my head. But it was before you changed your pick to Talladega Nights.
Yeah,
decided on Mouse Hunt. So
yeah, but yeah, this was fun. We'll probably do this again in the future at some point.
They're fun. I enjoyed them.
But yeah, I guess anyways, guys, once again, Thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. And be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of different videos, blogs, podcasts. Hopefully some new things will be coming out from Superpod pretty soon. Keep an eye out. And with that, everybody, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.